Hello and welcome to AzureTracks and Microsoft Cloud Quick Fix, and I got that all out in one shot. I'm Andrew Lowe's. With me is, as always, Ryan McKay. Ryan, how are you on this beautiful day?
I'm doing awesome and living the dream, Andrew. How are
I
you?
am fantastic. So, there's been lots of changes lately in both kind of the Azure information protection world and also on the M365 side. And they kind of wrap up together, and they had a bit of a rebrand recently. And of course, as our title kind of gives away, Microsoft Purview was born. So I think today we'll talk a little bit around some of the product itself. What does it do? Because there's some bigger scope changes with it that it can help us with a lot more now in the organizations and across the enterprise. But it also helps to unify things a little bit. What are your thoughts on Microsoft Purview?
Uh, I love what they've done with the technology, and today we're going to give you a preview about Purview.
Ooh, I love it. All right, I'm going to roll the thing, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So, Microsoft Purview provides kind of information protection, information governance, and many, many more things, of course. But I'd really love to hear kind of your thoughts on this and just kind of take me through what really gets you excited about Purview.
Yeah, for sure. In the past, we had different tools and different sections, within Azure and within the M365 environment, where we would find sort of things with regard to data governance and data protection and, all those things that are available in the tool sets in the Microsoft ecosystem to manage, sort of the digital estate. What Microsoft has done quite awesomely with Microsoft Purview is they've taken all these little bits and pieces from different spots and basically put it into that sort of single pane of glass or single area where an admin can go to look for all the things. Of course, in typical fashion, that necessitated a little bit of a rebrand because hey, we're doing something different. So the Microsoft Purview name was born, if you will. But I myself am really excited that all the brand family is, all these capabilities are combined into that sort of single area. Just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree because what it's helped done is just kind of unify how we can explain everything to our clients, and the
Exactly.
branding and the naming of the portals and all of the product offerings and service offerings within Purview. It's really unified the approach to help simplify how we can both design it, which is amazing because simplifying design is always excellent, but it also makes
Right.
it a bit easier to talk through some of the different solutions. So we kind of brought up this link a little bit ahead, right? And we thought, you know what? The name changes, it's kind of done and dusted. It's been around a little bit now, but a lot of customers are still attached to the original naming. It's really hanging on. And that's why we kind of
Absolutely.
thought, you know what, let's just take a bit of a shot at it here and talk about it. So the the bottom line for me is even today, I had a client asking about data loss prevention. It's still data loss prevention, but instead of Office
Mhm.
365 data loss prevention, it's Microsoft Purview
Yep.
product name here, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, just again a small little rebrand, but when you look at it, and it's been around, about 6 or 8 weeks, when it was announced. But names change. It's just a matter of sort of getting used to it. But the products, the underlying products, do the exact same thing. The capabilities are exactly the same. The other difference, of course, as I said earlier, is they're all kind of amalgamated into that single pane of glass.
Exactly.
Um, So a lot of those things like your core e-discovery, your Office 365 core e-discovery, your Office 365 advanced e-discovery, those, for instance, are rebranded again with Microsoft Purview, e-discovery, and then they kind of do standard and premium as sort of the delineation as opposed to core versus
Exactly.
advanced. Semantics at this point, right? Just semantics and different naming standard, if you will. But from a unification standpoint, you get used to the fact that everything is Microsoft Purview X, Microsoft Purview Y, and you know that it is part of that greater set that is there for unified data governance.
Exactly. So, and here we can see a little bit about, how the data that is existing in our tenant and within our business structures actually fits in to the governance portal model now. So how it fits in, so we
Mm-hmm.
break it down. So there's the data catalog, data sharing, the estate insights, and then data policy, right? So it really starts to break things apart a little bit, and we can see how some of the products map in, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
really well laid out. And we'll share the links with the write up in our publication, of course, as always. But I really think that Microsoft Purview is well positioned now to really help unify how we both think about data governance and protection, but also how we can implement it and kind of do that crawl, walk, run methodology, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And again, having it all in one spot and having it unified across, the M365 platform and Azure, it just makes perfect sense that all these things belong as opposed to being sort of disjointed. Another prime example is I was reading a message release in the M365 portal earlier in the week, and they indicated that, for instance, sort of the compliance features that used to be in the old Exchange Online admin console are now moving into the Purview
Yeah.
area. Right, they are deprecating, of course, the old admin console for Exchange. So this is just another component that used to be there that's now coming out. Again, that single pane of glass. So really, really helpful, and just a new way of doing things that I would say is more efficient, more manageable, and just is a great progress forward, a great progression forward.
Exactly. Yeah, and I really like how they've broken it down into very logical groupings that we can now
Exactly.
actually present and discuss with clients and work through their data protection and governance model. And I think that's really, for me, one of the key takeaways with Purview is they've made
Yeah.
great strides forward with it to simplify both how we can
Yeah.
view it and understand just the model itself, but also how we can implement it to actually help the business along.
For sure. Agreed.
Cool.
100%.
So, my good friend
Excellent.
Ryan, where can we find you in this wonderful virtual world of ours?
Absolutely, Andrew. Thank you very much. And on LinkedIn and on SoundCloud and on YouTube, I can be found at the full Microsoft Cloud Quick Fix. And on Twitter, I can be found at sign MSCQF. And Andrew, where can they
You
find
can
you?
always find me online, probably at my desk in my office, but it's going to be www.azuretracks.com and most social media platforms at AzureTracks. So thank you so much for joining
Awesome.
me, Ryan. I really love hearing your take on these changing and evolving technologies. And thank you for listening and watching the podcast today. And we look forward to seeing you next time.